Now the data to change process. Now let's get into it. This has been created to create meaningful distinctions from the time data is generated in systems all the way to the time change happens in an organization. And again, the role of the people analytics professional, the HR business partner, and others are honored in this data to change process. Also realize that there are really no way one person can do all this work. Even if they have the skills, they're not going to have the time. So we have to appreciate what's happening upstream and downstream in this process. So let's get into it. First off, on the far left, you'll see we have systems and data residing within these systems. That's all fine and good, and there's often reports that are generated right out of these systems, but they're isolated. We need to bring that data together to start forming a story so we can actually do an analysis. So to bring it together, we're going to aggregate and what I call stage the data. Stage is actually cleaning it and making it usable for analytical purposes. And that takes work. It doesn't happen by magic, and there's a variety of tools that facilitate that. From there, we can now create reports, push out dashboards, create scorecards, and do any number of things. But that is pretty static. It's not insight to the level it could be in 2019, 2020, and beyond. To get to that level, we actually have to have somebody focus on generating a story that's going to inspire confidence downstream. And that is the actual process of doing analytics. Once that is done, we still have to package it. We have to create visuals. We have to build that narrative. Once we've packaged it, we have to communicate it outwards. We need to facilitate discussion around it. And ultimately, change is happening because someone at the end of this process is making a decision or set of decisions to improve a certain dynamic. That can be elevating innovation, it could be improving diversity and inclusion, it can be any number of things. But to get the data is not enough oftentimes. There has to be a narrative around it. Who's going to develop that narrative? Who's going to communicate it? So understanding these distinctions is going to be critical if you individually are going to affect positive change, and if your organization is going to be effective at this whole data to change process, because it is going to take multiple individuals, and they're going to have to understand their respective roles, and they're going to have to work together to bring it to life and make it effective. To add clarity to the data to change process, I want to talk about 3 work streams. 1 is the strategic work stream, 2 is the operational work stream, and 3 is the technological or data work stream. First one, strategic, relates to our end customer, HR executive, for example, business leader, or what have you. They have certain wants and needs at a certain point in time, and we as HR business partners and others have to understand what those needs are so we can plan accordingly. In the operational work stream, this can be, again, the HR business partner and members of the people analytics team, and they're going to actually devise ways in which to get the work done, to generate the insight at that point in time. And in turn, they're going to partner with those in the technological work stream to go source the data, source related information that's going to help them build that confidence-inspiring story. Once they do that, they're going to package and communicate it upwards, and ultimately a change is going to ensue. For this to work well, there needs to be governance across these 3 work streams. Again, it does not happen by accident. So if there's a key takeaway, there needs to be communication among those who are responsible for not only generating the insight, but sourcing the requisite data and also consuming it at the end of the day, and in turn making decisions.